this short practice is to help cultivate a sense of being grounded and earthed, and really a chance to get out of your head and right down into your body. Because often what our minds make up or kind of make us believe is not real, but what we're connected to on the earth, what we're in contact with the soles of our feet, is real and is true. So hopefully this is a sequence to get you back to feeling your truth and feeling connected to the earth. So we're going to start lying on the back of your body. So you come to lie down on your back, and just make sure that you feel really comfortable. So if you need to bend your knees or anything, just go for it. And as you're here, just allowing the hands to rest down beside you, maybe having the palms face down so you are connected to the earth. And then breathe. So as you breathe here, just starting to become aware of your natural rhythm of breath. So observing the breath in as it flows in through the nose, and observing the breath out as it flows back out through the nose. And as you do this, can you start to cultivate perhaps a slightly slower and slightly deeper breath? So that as you breathe in, you can really feel the breath travel from the nose down through your body, almost as though you're filling up the base of your lungs. And as you breathe out, just let the breath go. So at least for now, just for a moment, allow your body to be still enough so you can focus on the movement of your breath. From that place, starting to become now more aware of the parts of your body that are in contact with the earth. So noticing on the back of your heels relax down to the earth. Are your calves there? Noticing, can you relax your thighs, your hands, your hips to the earth a little bit more? Are you still slightly holding in your back? Could you allow that to relax? Can you relax across your shoulder blades, your upper back? And can you feel the connection of the back of your head to the floor? So from this place, as we start to move, just take a slow, deep breath in through the nose. And as you do, just really gently stretch out through the arms and legs. So take up some space around you. And as you exhale there, we're going to hug the knees into the chest and just squeeze the nose up to the knees. So we'll do that one more time together. As you breathe in, everything stretches out as big as you can. And as you exhale there, we'll bend the knees and squeeze them in. So from this point, just start to find a little bit of a roll from side to side across your back. So can you feel the sacrum and the very lowest part of your back rolling across the floor? Then bring your feet to the ground about hip distance apart, arms alongside your body again. So allow the shoulders to shuffle down. And we'll start with a couple of pelvic tilts. So if you allow your pelvis to stay on the floor but roll away from you, so you create like a tiny little gap under the lower back. And then roll the pelvis in towards you, so you're kind of rolling the tailbone down and away. And then roll the pelvis towards you, create a tiny gap under the lower back. Roll the pelvis in towards you. So just finding this gentle movement a couple of times for yourself. So you could think of it as kind of unsticking that lower back and bring awareness to the lower back. So if that feels like it's doing some good, stick with that. Or to go a little bit further, now start to roll the hips in towards you and gradually lift those hips all the way towards the ceiling, squeezing the glutes just a little bit. And you exhale, slowly roll down through your spine bit by bit so you feel your body reconnecting to the ground. As the hips come down, then roll the pelvis away. Again, when you're ready, roll the pelvis in, slight squeeze of the glutes as you lift all the way up. And as you exhale, roll the spine back down bit by bit until the hips connect to the floor. Pelvis rolls away. One more time. Now maybe as you breathe in, you roll the pelvis in, all the way up. And you exhale, connect that spine down to the floor bit by bit and really curl your tailbone down last. So when you reconnect to the floor, step the feet a little bit wider apart, arms out to the sides, and just start to drop the knees down one way and then the other. So it's like a big sort of twisting movement. So as you go here, try to press those knees towards the floor. So we create some space around the hips. And then eventually knees coming to the centre. When you get there, lifting that right leg up into the air, push heel to ceiling. Begin to circle around through that ankle a little bit. And then we're going to cross that right ankle over the opposite knee. So keeping the right foot flexed, just press your knee away slightly. And find, just for now, a little bit of a rock from side to side. So just encouraging some sense of space around the hips. And just noticing perhaps how far the legs are happy to go today. And swapping over, so connect the right foot to the ground. Left foot lifts all the way up, press heel to ceiling. Give the left ankle a little bit of a circle around. And then we'll cross that ankle over the other knee. So keeping the foot flexed, gently press the left knee away. Find some movement side to side. Just perhaps observing if there's any difference between the two sides of the hips. Noticing, can you start to find that slow breath again? And then eventually reconnecting foot to floor. Hug the knees to the chest, come and roll yourself all the way up. So we've got the feet on the floor in front of you and hands slightly behind. So connecting the feet down there, we're going to inhale, start to push the hips forwards and up, palms pressing down. And as you exhale, bring the hips back and slightly draw them back between the arms if you can. And again, inhale, push hips forwards and up. And as you exhale, hips down and back. See if you can begin to lengthen your legs a bit more. One more time, breathe in, hips push forwards and up. And as you exhale, bring those hips down and back. Have a go at lengthening the legs. So eventually, hips come to the floor, making your way over onto hands and knees. So when you're here, spreading out the fingers and thumbs and just feeling the connection of each of your finger pads to the floor. From there, as you breathe in, start to lengthen the chest forward, lift the tailbone, and you exhale, push the floor around the spine. So as you breathe in again, open the front of your body, draw the tailbone back and up, and you exhale, push the floor around the spine. So just feeling this movement for yourself a few times. And see if you can really use that pushing away of the floor to help you round your spine. So from this place, the next time that you round your back, we're going to come all the way back towards child's pose, so hips to heels. And when you're there, just start to walk your hands slightly further forward in front of you, so we're lengthening through the rib cage. So if your forehead is in contact with the floor here, just allow the forehead to roll from side to side slightly. So we're kind of connecting these neurolymphatic points on the forehead to the ground there, which can help with a sense of really calming the nervous system. So eventually, fingertips spread wide, tucking the toes and coming into downward facing dog. So when you get here, just give the legs a little walk out. So one heel, then the other is going to press towards the floor. And just becoming aware of how the legs feel. So if you wanted to, you could always take the feet wider apart if there's a little bit of tightness today. So from there, moving both legs together, we're going to start to bend the knees, sit the hips back towards your heels, and then press through the feet to lengthen the legs again. Again, when you're ready, bend the knees, sit back, push through the feet, lengthen the legs. 2 more times, bend the knees, sit back as low as you can, push through the feet, lengthen. 1 more time, sit those hips low, and then lengthen the legs. Good, so nice and slowly start to walk those feet forward to the front of the mat. So we end up in a forward fold, taking the feet slightly wider. And just find a bit of a sway from side to side. So feel the weight shift from the right foot to the left foot. So eventually, nice and slowly, come to roll up to stand. So we'll let the head come last, arms lift as well. And you exhale, palms to chest. So from here, the next time we breathe in, we'll start to scoop the hands all the way up. As you exhale, turn those palms down, soften the knees and push towards the floor. So again, the breath in to lift the palms up. As you exhale, feel the feet more firmly connect back down. 1 more time together. Inhale, lift the hands. As you exhale, press palms down, ground the feet and come into your forward fold again. So when we're here, let the fingertips come to the floor. Take a big step back with the right foot, bring the knee down. So we'll breathe in here, hands come forwards and up. And like we did before, turn those palms down and press towards the ground. So we can get the hips moving as well here. As you breathe in, lift the hands, push the hips forwards. As you exhale, palms press down, draw the hips back slightly. Again, inhale, palms press up, hips push forward. As you exhale, push down, hips draw slightly back. So from here, hands are going to come to the floor. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee, and we'll step into downward facing dog. So from here, taking the feet slightly wider apart, just come forward into your plank. And then from there, push the floor away, back into downward facing dog. As you breathe in again, forward into your plank. And as you exhale, push the floor downward facing dog. So last time here, we're going to breathe in, come forward into a plank. And we'll lower down towards the floor. So maybe knees down first, then the elbows coming into cobra. So ground the tops of your feet. And as you breathe in, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. As you exhale, we're going to press through the mats, hips to heels, coming into child's pose. Allow at least 1 or 2 breaths there. And slowly starting to tuck the toes again, lift the hips, downward facing dog. So from here, starting to walk forward to the front of the mat. As you breathe in, lift the palms up. And we'll exhale again, soften the knees, press towards the floor. So full breath in, scoot the hands upwards. As you exhale, feel the connection of your feet to the ground. So as you breathe in here again, lift the hands. As you exhale, press the feet down, soften the knees, forward fold. This time the left foot's going to step back, bring the knee down. So breathe in again, hands forwards and up. As you exhale, push palms towards the floor. And now getting the hips involved. So pull the hands up, hips push forward. As you exhale, hands push down, slightly draw the hips back. Again, inhale, hands up, hips forward. As you exhale, hands down, hips draw back. One more time together, lift the hands, hips forwards. As you exhale, hips back slightly, hands come to the floor, downward facing dog when you're ready. So again, spread out those fingers and thumbs. As you breathe in again, forward into your plank. Push the floor away with the hands, draw back, downward facing dog. As you breathe in, slowly forward into your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then last time, forward into your plank. Staying for a moment, and then we'll lower down. So maybe knees down first, then bend the elbows. Coming into cobra, so press down through the tops of your feet. Roll shoulders back, and lift through the chest. So we're going to exhale here, push hips back to heels, child's pose. Tucking the toes down, facing dog. So come to walk forward to the front of the mat, feet a little bit wider than the hips, slowly roll up to stand, again lift the palms. This time we're going to bend the knees, sit about halfway down so we've got the forearms and the thighs. So I'm here with the forearms down, we're going to exhale, start to round the back, tuck the chin, and as you breathe in, pull the chest forward, slightly lift the gaze towards the ceiling. As you exhale again, round the back, tuck the chin. As you inhale, slowly look forwards and up. So this time, starting to round the back, tuck the chin. Then sitting a little bit lower down to the hips, or coming into a full squat here if you can. So looking to face you. So if you're able to, bend the knees, sit as low as you can. Going to press the elbows out into the knees slightly, and just find some movement side to side here. So you could kind of lift the inner arch of one heel, or foot, then the other. So if the heels are off the floor, is completely fine. Just kind of help your hips get used to this sort of shape. So from here, we're going to take the left hand out and down, take the right hand all the way up. And then swapping over, right hand comes out and down, and left arm all the way up. So eventually hands are going to come to the floor, make your way into your forward fold again. Again, just shift the weight between one foot and the other. And then we'll step back into downward facing dog from there. So from here, as you breathe in, we'll start to lift that right leg all the way up behind you. As you exhale, bring the knee towards the nose and the shoulders over the wrists. Again, inhale, push the leg up. And as you exhale, this time we're going to step the foot forward between the hands and come up into warrior one. So back heel comes down, but bring the arms forwards and up. So if this feels like enough for you today, stick with this. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, then just lift the back heel off of the floor there, so the hips, a bit more wobbly as well, so the hips face the front of your mat, okay? So as you breathe in here, we'll start to lengthen that front knee. As you exhale, bend the front knee a bit more, press the hands towards the floor. Again, inhale, lengthen the leg, palms up. As you exhale, bend the knee, push palms down. So now we can start to add on, if you're in that lunge position, straighten the front leg. As you exhale, bend the knee, see if you can soften the back knee down too. Inhale, push up. Exhale, palms down. So this time, as we lift the hands up, we're going to open into warrior two. So back heel comes down, open the arms out. So as we breathe this time, palms come together. Imagine squeezing your feet together as well. As you exhale, push palms away. Imagine stretching them out with your feet. Inhale, palms in, pull feet together. As you exhale, stretch them out with your feet, push away. One more time, breathe in, palms together. When we get to this point, turn both feet slightly outwards, so we're in a high squat. And just find some movement from side to side of the legs. So as we're here, just finding a little bit of strength in the thighs. Just bring your hands into Prithvi Mudra, this is the Earth Mudra. So it's the ring finger and thumb together. So we're going to inhale to lift the hands, lengthen the legs. As you exhale, turn palms down, bend the knees, sit low. Inhale, palms up, lengthen legs. Exhale, bend the knees, sit lower. Last time here, lift the hands, lengthen the legs. As you exhale, bend the knees, palms come all the way to the floor now. Lengthen the legs and turn the feet parallel. So find a little bit of a bend in one knee, then the other, so you're easing side to side. And then from there, we'll slowly start to walk the hands around towards the front of your mat, turning the feet forwards and popping the back knee to the floor. When you get here again, we're going to inhale, hands forwards and up. As you exhale, palms push down, draw the hips back and see if you can lift onto the front heel. Again, inhale, palms up, push hips forward. As you exhale, palms push down, draw the hips back. One more time there, inhale, palms up. As you exhale, hands push back, draw the hips back. So hands are going to come all the way to the floor now. Bring them to the inside edge of the front foot and then walk that front foot out to the side a bit. So slide your back knee a bit further back if you can. So we're looking for a little stretch in that left hip. So this might feel like it's enough, or if you can easily come down to your forearms, go with that if you like. So finding perhaps a little bit of a circular movement here. So instead of just a stretch, this is more like a massage for the hips as well. And then eventually, hands under shoulders, tuck the back toes, lift the knee and step into downward facing dog. So from here, we're going to inhale forward into your plank. As you exhale, bend the elbows lower down. Breathe in to lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. And as you exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Other side. We're going to breathe in here to lift the left leg all the way up. As you exhale, knee to nose and shoulders over the wrist. Again, inhaling to lift the leg. As you exhale, we're going to step that left foot forward between the hands. Come into warrior one, so back heel is down, arms forwards and up. And again, there's the option to lift the back heel from that kind of lunge position. So inhale, palms up, lengthen the front leg. As you exhale, bend the front knee, push palms down. Again, inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, pushing down. So again, we can start to add on here. So as you breathe and lift the arms up. And if you've got the back heel lifted, now you can start to bend that back knee as well. Inhale, lift high. And if you can, lift that back heel, bend the knee, come low. So as you lift up this time, we're going to open out into warrior two. So bring the back heel down. I'll turn around so I'm facing you. So from there, palms are reaching up. We're going to inhale, pull palms together, squeeze your feet together. And we'll exhale, bend the front knee. Imagine stretching the mat apart. Inhale, pull palms in, squeeze the feet. Exhale, push away. So as you come into the centre this time, I'm going to start to turn those feet outwards. We're in that high squat again. Come into Prithvi Mudra, so ring finger and thumbs together. Inhale, lift the hands. Now see if you can lift the heels as well. And we'll exhale, bend the knees, sit a bit lower. Inhale, palms lift the heels. Then exhale, heels down, sit low. One more time together. Inhale, lift up, lift the heels if you can. Hold it here for a moment. So if you want to make this a little bit more tricky, see if you can either close the eyes or look toward the ceiling. Keep the breath going. And then from there, let the heels land. Hands come to the floor. Turn the feet parallel. Find a little bit of a bend in one knee and then the other. So easing side to side. So eventually come to walk the hands around to the front of your mat. Bring the back knee down when you're ready. I'm just going to switch my feet around so they're the same way as yours. So from there, back knee is down. We're going to inhale, lift the hands up. As you exhale, palms push back. Draw the hips back. And can you lift those front toes? Again, inhale, palms up. Push hips forward. Exhale, palms push back. Lift those front toes again. One more time. Inhale, hands up. Push forward. And then hands are going to come down to the inside edge of the front foot. Move that front foot a bit wider and slide your back knee back. So as you're here, feel free to stay high or come down to the forearms if that feels easy. And can you find a little bit of a circular movement around the hips here? Good. So eventually we'll tuck the back toes, lifting the knee, stepping back into downward facing dog. So from there, come to walk forward to the front of your mat again. Feet slightly wider than the hips. Turn the toes outwards. Inhale, lift the hands. And as you exhale, bend the knees. Come as low as you can go today. Push through the feet. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, sit low. One more time. Inhale, come high. So come down as low as you can come again. So either halfway or maybe all the way. And again, that left hand's going to reach out and down. And right hand stretches all the way up. Right palm's going to come out and down. Left hand all the way up. So hands going to come to the floor, come into your forward fold. Hands come down, downward facing dog. When we get there, inhale to lift that right leg up. As you exhale, knee to nose. Again, lifting that leg up. Now bring the right knee towards your right elbow. So a little bit for the core here. Slide your knee down towards your wrist, then slide it back up towards the elbow. One more time, down towards the wrist, back up to the elbow. Then we bring that knee all the way to the floor, and we come into pigeon. So knee is by the wrist, start to slide your body back slightly until you feel like a kind of slight stretch into that right glute on the hip. So the more kind of open your hips are, the more your front shin might come parallel to the front of the mat. So feel free to stay high here, or start to walk your hands forward. So you're kind of coming onto your forearms if possible, and let the head relax. So I'm just trying to have the hip bones sort of facing forward, and the sensation around the hip here, not really in the knee at all. Start to soften around the eyes, the jaw and the back of the neck. And then slowly we'll start to walk the hands back up towards you. Come to sit on that right hip. Swing the back leg around gently. And we'll bend both knees so feet are forward in front. So similar to earlier, hands behind you. Fingertips whatever way you feel best to have them. We're going to breathe and push hips forwards and up. And you exhale, hips down and back. Again, inhale, hips push forward. Exhale, pushing back. So this time, we're going to sit the hips to the floor. Turn your left fingertips back and away from you. And that right palm's going to come in front. So feel the connection of your feet and your hand to the floor. Then from here, we're going to inhale, lift the hands, push the hips up, and see if you can slightly reach back behind you. As you exhale, again, come down. Again, push the feet. Inhale up, reach back. Exhale low. Okay, so one more time together. Push through that left hand, come up, reach back. And you exhale, sit low. Well done. So as they're sitting low here, palms come together. Press the elbows out into the knees and start to lift up through the chest. So this can help to create some space in the lower back. Slowly bringing the feet round to one side. Coming over onto hands and knees. So we'll tuck the toes here, downward facing dog. Last little bit. You'll inhale, lift the left leg up. As you exhale, knee to nose, shoulders forwards. Again, lifting the leg. This time bring left knee to left elbow. Slide the knee down towards your wrist. Slide it back up towards your elbow. Slide it towards the wrist. Slide it back up towards the elbow. And then all the way down. So the knee is on the floor just by the wrist. Slide your body back a little bit. Draw the hips and the chest to face forward. And if you have the space to go, start to maybe walk those forearms down as well. So again, try to keep the sensation in the hip. If things are very, very high, you can always put a cushion or a block under the hips here as well to give yourself some more support. And when you're here, allow the eyes, the jaw and the neck to relax. Slowly walking the hands back towards you. Come to sit the weight on the left side of your body. Gently draw the other leg round. Again, bending the knees. So when we're here, the right fingertips will be back behind you, left hand forward. So if this is feeling a little bit too much now, just visualize yourself doing the movement and think about lifting your chest. Okay? Otherwise, push through the hands, push through the feet. As you breathe in, lift the hips, stretch the arm back. As you exhale, hips come down, slowly, slowly. Push through the feet. Inhale, up and back. Exhaling down. One more time. Press through the feet. A little squeeze in the glutes as you reach up. And as you exhale, come down. So from there, feet stay about the distance of your mat, palms together. Press those knees outwards and lift up through the chest. So to help create space in the lower back, as you press outwards into the knees, push those knees back into your elbows so there's some resistance there. So very gently, just starting to bring the soles of your feet together. So there's a little kind of acupressure point on the soles of the feet that is very much linked to the adrenals and the kidneys, so it can help to provide a sense of being grounded and calm. So you could place the thumbs just to the centre point in the soles of your feet, pressing quite firmly. And as you do, gently come down to your forward fold gently. So releasing all the muscles around the back of the neck, softening the muscles around the eyes. Slowly bring yourself up. So at this point, just come to lie yourself down on your back. And when we're down on the back there, just very, very gently hugging the knees in towards the chest. And just finding like a circular movement here through the knees. So using one hand on each knee, draw the knees in, round out, and then back together. So just providing some real sense of softness in the hips. And then from this place, bring the feet to the floor. Just come to lie in the most comfortable position for yourself. I'm going to finish with a little bit of visualisation using the breath to help create a sense of earthing as well. In yogic terms, the earth element is represented by a yellow square. So in your mind now, perhaps imagining a yellow square. Maybe it's the kind of yellow that is similar to sand or an earthy colour. And if you can, just imagine yourself lying in that yellow square. So as you're here, just starting to feel yourself connected to the earth as though you were lying in that yellow square. And starting to become aware of the 4 sides of the square. So the edges and the top and bottom sides. So as you're lying here in this earthy yellow square, just starting to perhaps take one slow deep breath in and out for yourself. And then the next time that you breathe in, you're starting to draw the line up one side of the square. Slowly, slowly. Hold the breath as you draw the line across the top of the square. Exhale as you draw the line down the other side of the square. Hold the breath as you draw the line across the bottom of the square. Again, inhaling up the side of the square. Holding across the top of the square. Exhaling down the side of the square. Holding across the bottom of the square. Slowly breathing in, up the side of the square. Holding across the top of the square. Exhaling down the side of the square. Holding across the bottom of the square. Inhaling slowly up the side of the yellow square. Holding along the top of the square. Exhaling down the side of the square. Holding across the bottom of the square. Once more, inhaling up the side of that earthy yellow square. Holding across the top of the square. Exhaling down the side of the square. Holding across the bottom of the square. Seeing yourself lying in this yellow earthy square, take a full breath in through your nose. And as you breathe out, let the breath go. Just becoming aware of the parts of your body that are connected to that yellow earthy square. The back of the head, shoulders, upper back, middle and lower back. Allowing those parts to completely relax. Allowing your arms and your hands to relax. Allowing your chest, your stomach and your hips to completely relax. And completely relaxing through your thighs, your knees, the lower legs and feet. And just knowing that this is a safe place for your body to completely let go, to be held and to relax. So knowing that this is a place you can bring yourself back to any time that you want to cultivate that sense of being earthed and grounded and held. Just starting to take a slightly deeper breath in through the nose, filling the lungs, the ribs, the stomach. And you exhale, deep breath out. Slowly becoming aware of the space around you. the ground underneath you. And perhaps moving into it, so moving the joints or a big stretch through the arms and legs if that feels good. And just coming to slowly hug the knees into the chest, rolling yourself over to one side. And then keeping the eyes closed for a moment as you come on up to sit. So maybe becoming aware of any sense of being more peaceful, grounded, present. And if you do, just see if this can come with you through the rest of your day and see where you can use it. So bringing the palms together, rubbing the hands together to lift the body up. Nice deep breath in, hands all the way above the head. Exhaling to the heart center. Namaste.